I think the humanities really, it's the study of like what it means to be human from a lot of different angles. And everyone has this idea that you have to major in one of the hard sciences to go to medical school. I don't think a lot of people realize is the requirements to get into medical school. You just have to have an undergraduate degree. It doesn't say what it has to be in. You know, you don't have to follow that traditional path. A lot of medical schools are looking for different students. They don't want everyone to be that carbon copy. They want like diversity of thought, because that's really important when you're working in teams, to have people thinking about different things on different levels. We're really moving in medicine towards a whole person sort of mentality about treating patients. So I think that having practice in thinking about those things beforehand really makes it easier to be good at that.
Whenever I decided medicine's probably for me, I'm gonna start to look at the actual majors that I can declare. And I met with an advisor and I said, well, what is it that people normally take? And they said biology or chemistry or biochemistry, those are the most common. And I thought, well, that's good. I actually asked you that question because I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. I hadn't heard of medical humanities until I met with an advisor in the actual medical humanities office. And they started telling me about some of the classes that would be available to me as a medical humanities major. Things like world religions, medical Spanish, bioethics, things like that. And I started thinking, well, if all these other people are taking biochemistry and chemistry, which I do take, those are requirements to go to medical school. But instead of focusing on those very hard scientific cellular classes, why don't I focus on humans as a whole? And more importantly to me, what are the different cultures that patients come from? What are their backgrounds? How can I tailor my education to better treat patients from different cultural backgrounds?
The advantage of humanities is you learn how to talk to people. And that's one of the key things in an interview. So I really think that being able to talk to people, communicate with people was really key to a good interview for me. We had to watch people give interviews and give critiques and all that kind of stuff. There was a night and day difference between the people who had majored only in biochemistry versus the people who had majored in maybe psychology or some social science. It really made a difference on their ability to talk to people.
I think I learned a lot about myself and about other people and where they're coming from. And I think that's a life skill that everyone really needs to have, to be able to look at things from different viewpoints. So I think that studying humanities it makes you a better person. I think it makes you think about things that you wouldn't otherwise. You really learn how to think through very complicated problems. You know, a lot of things that you have to read for philosophy, they can be really complex. And so you have to learn to read that and to pick up what the most important information is. And that's not that different from talking to a patient, listening to, a long convoluted story and trying to figure out, what's actually going on here, what really matters.
Medicine is a very human career. It is very scientific. You have to know about all kinds of cellular things that go on within the body, but you need to know how humans function on a greater level. What medical humanities does is raise an awareness about just the human side of patients.
The basic science courses, you're going to have to do those in order to go apply to medical school. And those will make you a good MD. But what's going to make you a good physician, what's going to make you able to interact with patients, is those communication skills that you gain from a humanities degree. And so I really think in the long game, humanities is the way to go.